that has been added to YouTube since we did this last. Okay, so yeah, it's been on YouTube. Okay, back. I'll be with you in a minute. And now I don't know how many people were there, but you met some new friends, no doubt. Tell us about some of the people you met.
It was really neat sitting down with a lot of the editors and agents and publishers. I had never met Martin Wiles, and I enjoyed chatting with him. He's
Hmm.
one of the editors with some of
Right.
Cindy Sproul's and Eddie
Hmm.
Jones' websites, and so that was really encouraging because I correspond with Inspire the Fire, and then I got to meet Suzanne. I may say her name wrong, Kuhn, I guess, or Kun, Kuhn.
Mm.
She was really encouraging with Iron Stream. I enjoyed chatting with her. Uh, and met a guy named Larry, and he's also with Iron Stream. He was very encouraging as well. Very, very helpful and knowledgeable, both of them.
Now they
So,
usually have classes that you go to. Do you get to did you get to go to any classes?
yeah, I went to quite a few. I really enjoyed the one that Eva Marie did. I don't remember the name of it, but she gave us a lot of ideas on uh, I don't really characters and different points of view and things. So it was very cool. When you go to a conference, it's so overwhelming, and to pull one thing or to remember the name of this, I just remember going, "Oh, I don't want to go home."
Well, it's great to meet new people. It's great to y'all probably have a pretty good time on the road going up there. That's a lot of fellowship time. Is maybe 6 hours too much with four women in the car?
Oh no, we had a great time.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Because sometimes guests are like fish. They're okay, but after a while they start to stink. And it's but
oh no,
uh,
we get along well, so it was a good mix.
well, it sounds like an exciting, just a good road trip adventure, and you learn things, you meet new people. But how many conferences have you been to over the years?
At least six, I would say upwards of 10.
Really, you're kind of a
Hmm.
conference junkie, aren't you?
Well, they're spread out over about 15 years, so
Oh well, okay. Well, we'll
you know,
we'll take that into consideration and cut you
yeah,
some
yeah, a
slack.
few online ones here or there.
Well,
But I
in
will say that for a writer who has never attended a writing conference, people always say it's who you know and the connections. It really is about these connections, and it's so important to go to these writing conferences and to talk, not just sit in a corner by yourself,
Mhm.
but go introduce yourself to every single person that you can, because the connections are invaluable and the friendships that you make are
and,
invaluable.
and the ones I've been to, they set it up to where that they kind of facilitate that. You know,
Right.
one of the challenges, is if you're there for several days, you meet somebody and both everybody wants to cling to somebody. That now that well, once you meet somebody, go meet somebody else. Don't just huddle with that little few that you meet. And you were there with four of your friends anyway. But I have this little rule that I make and I share with, like if there were four of us going, I would say, if you see me talking to another person, it is your duty to interrupt me so that I can introduce you to the person I'm talking to. And we all have that same agreement. You know, so you just come up there and tap on the shoulder, and that's you've got to push yourself a little bit out of the comfort of the familiar. The people you already have met, you're having time, but it's tough. Now, last time that you were here, we talked about, you alluded to, and now we're getting closer. You've actually got a book coming out. You thought it was right around the corner, but maybe the corner's a little bit more distant than you thought.
Yeah. So in August, I signed a contract with WordCrafts Press, and they have acquired, and we're contracted to put out a 75-day devotional, and it's called Big Lessons from Little People. That's the subtitle, Learning as I Go. And I write a column in our paper each week called Learning as I Go. And so a lot of the devotions are taken from there and kind of changed a little bit, but it's stories that God has taught me, big lessons in the moment for my children. and all of them have something to do with my kids, one or both of them. And God is just so faithful. And in those little moments of just pricking my heart and going, hey, pay attention and look at this. I've got a lesson for you. Like one of the stories was about my oldest, and he brought me this set of train tracks, or it may have been car tracks, and he brought it to me. And he just couldn't put them together. He couldn't fix them. And I said, well, Carter, I said, just bring me the tracks. Well, he kept bringing me one piece and one piece. I said, no, you've got to bring me all your tracks or I can't put it together and make it right. And it's that idea that God needs all of our stuff in order to fix us and put us back together and make us all right. And if we're holding on to that one piece of track, then he doesn't have all of us. So it's that type of little lesson from my kids. So it was fun to write, and my kids get to be the star of the show and help point people to Jesus.
So how old are your children?
They are 6 and 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can learn a lot from 6 and 10-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. Especially boys.
Did you have brothers when you were growing up?
I have one younger brother.
Okay. So, yeah, it's not, yeah, you kind of have some context to draw that from. Now, you said you write for the local paper. Is that a weekly?
It is. I have a weekly column called Learning as I Go, and it's also on my blog each week.
Okay.
And talking about my blog right now, I have a 7-day devotional that I'm offering for free called When Life Throws You Lemons. So if anybody wants to subscribe, that's going to come to your email after you subscribe. And it was from a time where we were going through a really hard season at our house where my husband was diagnosed with cancer, and he was going through treatments, and we were in the middle of trying to build our house, and just so many different things were happening all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to teach and work at the church and write, and it was just, we were overloaded. And so this is just a sampling of devotions that God dropped to my heart during that season that I wanted to share with people, just to offer hope and encouragement. So that's available on my website right now.
And that website is on the screen, ChristyBassAdams.com. That's easy to spell. It's spelled with a C. And there's an H. Anyway, it's on the screen, folks. If you can't, pause the video if you have to. Write it down. Go there. Not now. Wait till after we're done. Okay. You blog at that website, so tell us about your most recent blog entries.
Well, actually, this week's was a little bit difficult to write. Last week, my grandmother passed away, and she's been sick for a while. My grandfather died last year this time of the year, and on my dad's side. And so when he died, my grandma was by herself, and he had kind of been her caretaker. And so my blog this week was about us losing Granny, and after we lost Papa last year. And so it was a little bit harder to write. And then after I wrote it, my family asked me if I would share it at the funeral. And so I did. My grandma was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of good memories. And the one memory that always stands out is we still say it. Her name's Luell, and whenever we're fishing, she always takes her line and she throws it out, and her cork is right beside yours, and she steals your fish. She just always catches your fish, and so I hope she's up there fishing on the bank next to Papa and catching all his fish. So. But that's what I wrote about this week. And so I try to just pour my heart out. I try to be vulnerable and just share in raw honesty what's going on in my heart with people. Because I think, we need to know that we all struggle. We all have victories. We all have failures. And I just want to minister to people through these words. And everybody's lost somebody, and they can relate to losing a grandparent or a parent or a friend. So that's my latest one this week.
Well, folks, we encourage you to go there and subscribe. Get your free 7-day devotion, a week's worth. And now your book that's coming out. What's your best guess now as to when that'll be?
I was hoping spring. I'm not going to be quite that hopeful. Summer, it looks like sometime during the summer. But I'll definitely keep you posted when we get that book cover. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We'll do this again. All
right, please do. Well, Christy, appreciate you sharing tonight, and we'll see you again when that book cover is available, or the book's available whenever they give you that stuff. But it's imminent. It's just things take longer. Things are messed up right now, so we'll get through it. But it's a pleasure having you on board. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
Sure thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, well, folks. We kind of got through some technical difficulties. It's actually not difficulties. We're changing some things on this end that will make things better in some ways. in the future. So sorry that we got off to a rough start and that I was somewhat distracted. But at the bottom of the hour, we'll be back because Casper Stockham joins us on Monday nights at 9:30, and he'll be here very soon. I've got a few things to do, obviously, while we get ready for him. And while I'm doing those, I would like you to contemplate a couple of questions. What is the boldest thing that you've ever done for Jesus Christ? And how long ago was that? The challenge is to not be satisfied with either answer.